Today, we are going to talk about Christmas in the 80s, and we're going to do this because I was a youth in the 80s, and I remember exactly what Christmas was like back then. The lights, the chaos, the crunchy plastic everything. The cigarette-infused nostalgia that lives in every single Polaroid from that era. And a quick heads up, I am talking about products in this video, but no, I'm not linking anything. This isn't a haul. It's a time machine. I do have a generic affiliate link in the comments if you desperately need something from Amazon and you wanted to use it to help me out. Fantastic, but it's there for vibes, not for pressure. Okay, let's talk about the 1980s Christmas tree. Back in the day, Christmas trees were fat. They were wide and jolly and aggressively triangular. They took up half the living room and we liked it that way. None of this pencil-treed, minimalist, Scandinavian decor aesthetic. Our trees had hips. No offense to my Scandinavian viewers. I honestly don't know if that skinny tree trend has ended. And if you love a skinny tree, that's fine. This isn't a skinny tree hate video. I'm just saying, they could still sell the fat ones too. My current tree is older and she is glorious. She's hefty and she's got colored lights and novelty ornaments. She looks like she walked straight out of a 1987 JCPenney catalog. I love her with my whole heart. She sparks genuine joy in my soul for about 45 days in the cold, dark Michigan winters. But in the 80s, our trees dripped with tinsel. Either with those fine strands that got everywhere and had our moms cursing at the vacuum cleaner at 6 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday, or with the thick garland that kind of looked like a festive boa constrictor going around your tree. Tinsel was everywhere. It was bright and it was colorful and it was not aesthetic. At least not in the Pinterest version of aesthetic we know today. Because we didn't have Pinterest to bully us into color-coded Christmases. We lived in our little bubbles and we bought what Kmart had available and we called it magic. At least after the streetlights came on and we were allowed to come back inside. Do you remember melted plastic popcorn decorations? The crunchy, rainbow-colored, weirdly shiny plastic wall hangings that kind of look like somebody tried to render Santa in an 8-bit out of melted Tupperware. Iconic. I actually bought myself the same Santa we had when I was little, and of course, I can't find it right now. It'll turn up, it always does, but I really wanted to have like the physical one to show you how crazy these things are. Vindication. Look who I found. Okay, so let's see. That's the texture of the melted popcorn plastic. I'm so excited. I'm so excited I found him. I knew I would. I knew I would find him. But I had to come in here and edit this into the video so you could see my 1980s vintage melted popcorn, melted plastic popcorn Santa Claus. I love him. Absolutely worth $20 and I'm so happy. All right, let's get back to the nostalgia. Because nothing says 80s Christmas like hanging burnt plastic decor on wood paneling over a couch decorated with wagon wheel print, cigarette burns, and the smell of cool lights. Core memory unlocked right there. Anyway, these things were like $5 at a Woolworth, and now they're reselling on Etsy for like up to $100. I paid about $20 for mine because it had cosmetic issues, which is hilarious because the whole thing is a cosmetic issue. That's what makes it awesome. And I love him. And I will find him because I want him up. He's my childhood. It was really exciting to find it at a price point I was willing to pay. And yeah, I just got to figure out where I put him last year because I need him out. Now let's switch gears a little bit from decorations to toys. Who had a Cabbage Patch doll? It was the it toy of the decade of the 80s. It caused literal riots in department stores. Like fights that would rival a Stanley drop or that stupid bear cup from Starbucks that everybody went bananas over. People were fighting in parking lots over Cabbage Patch dolls. It was chaos. It was on the news constantly. Anyway, mine was named Tabitha. I don't think my mom punched anybody to get her for me, but I was quite pleased to open her one Christmas morning. She had the chubby face and the yarn hair and that soft, squishy body. I mean, she was pure serotonin. There was something magical about these dolls, and I don't think it was just the scarcity. I think part of it is that it came with adoption papers, and it felt like it was really and truly yours to take care of, to be responsible for. They were made of cloth and hope, and they didn't require like batteries, and there was nothing on them that could break. They were just perfect, straight out of the box. And actually, there's a very good chance that my mom still has Tabitha. I don't remember exactly when I put her down for the last time, but I will never forget the first time I held her. Hawk's in here pushing my stuff around. Will you stop? I'm trying to make a video. Honey, quit chewing your foot. Sorry if you could hear that. What are you doing? Come say hi. Come here. Come say hi. Hi. Oh, big stretch. Oh. Bless you. Hi. Hello. Oh, honey. No, I don't want face kisses. I'm trying to make a video. Yes, I'm trying to make a video. I am. Where were we? Cabbage Patch Dolls. So speaking of toys from that era, let's talk about the Sears catalog, because this is where we found the toys that we wanted to ask Santa for Christmas. The Sears catalog was our Pinterest in the 80s. And it would come and we would sit with our scented markers and we would circle all the things that we wanted for Christmas like we were drafting an NFL team. And we wanted all of it. Because, of course, they made the toys look enormous. The play kitchens looked just like our mom's kitchens. And the Barbie dream house looked like a McMansion. You know, I mean, the phrase didn't exist back then, but it looked enormous. And, you know, if you were lucky enough to get one on Christmas and you ripped it open, it was significantly smaller than pictured in the Sears catalog. But we loved it anyway. And our dads would cuss under their breath while they built it with all these tiny plastic pieces, and then we would insist that it live in the living room for 3 months until we had broken enough of it that we didn't want to play with it anymore. Absolute nostalgia, man. Like, that's memories. Just so good. Christmas in the 80s was so good. And it wasn't all like Barbie dream houses. Like, we had the benefit of crazy, dangerous as hell toys too, because the 80s were a lawless time. We had metal-tipped lawn darts. We had toys that the entire point of them was to wind them up and they would shoot sparks out of their frickin' mouths. We had kerbangers, which were balls on a string designed to break your knuckles or your brother's nose. Seriously, we were fighting for our lives just to have a good time back then. Everything was painted with lead paint and magic. It was magic. It's amazing any of us survived, to be honest. And the candy? Like, half of it was like, is this medicine? We had that rainbow ribbon candy that would break into super sharp shards and like stab you in the gums. And also was faintly flavored like perfume. And then there were the chocolate coins wrapped in like gold foil that we all got for Christmas in our stockings. They tasted like wax and disappointment. And they were always slightly melted, but we loved to see them. Not that it was all bad, because we also had the GOAT of the Lifesavers Christmas book. Nowadays, when you only get like the standard 5 flavor rolls and you just get a few, these books used to be like a dozen different flavored rolls of Lifesavers. My very favorite was the butter rum. It was always the butter rum. I think it's because my mom always had them in her purse. So that inserts wintergreen. Like, the nostalgia is hitting hard as I am going in the Wayback Machine. But loved the butter rum. So you would get with the other kids in the neighborhood who got their Lifesaver books, and you would trade rolls so that you would get more of your favorites. And it was a good time. They suck now. Sorry, not sorry. And all of this stuff would be shoved into a felt stocking that our moms wrote our name on with glue and then shook glitter over it. I'm pretty sure we all had pretty shared experiences. I'm speaking from me. You know, I'm speaking the United States in the 80s, in a Midwest small town. That was my Christmas, this is my Christmas experience. So if I'm speaking in generalities that don't apply to you, Sorry, let it go. I'm just having a good time here, okay? And look, when I sit down now and I look back at Christmas in the 80s, I don't know if the magic was stronger because I was a kid. Hey, I think my groceries are being delivered. Hang on, and we will come back and talk about the magic of the 80s Christmas. Ugh. Okay. Where were we? The magic of an oh my goodness. Hang on. The magic of an 80s Christmas. Why do these videos always go so off the rails for me? It's like, I don't know. Okay, so the magic of an 80s Christmas. I don't know if it was stronger because it was the 80s or just because I was a kid and that was all I really knew. I look at my kids now and they just want gift cards and cash. And like, I get it. I also want gift cards and cash. But I kind of miss the days of the Garfield phone and the He-Man playsets. Those days when I would rush to the living room to see what Santa brought, and there was just a pile of boxes wrapped in the most garish wrapping paper you can imagine with stuck on like polyester bows. Things were simpler back then because we didn't know any better. Our news came once in the morning paper and once on the evening news. The only people we could compare ourselves to were our neighbors who lived a shared experience because we were in our own socioeconomic neighborhoods. We didn't know that there were people out there getting bikes for Easter and Christmas every year. We didn't know any of that. We only knew that our parents managed to get us a Cabbage Patch doll despite the craziness of the news telling us how hard it was to get one. That was magic. So yeah, I don't know if Christmas was better in the 80s, but it was definitely simpler. And that's probably why the nostalgia is so strong. I hope that you had fun taking this little trip down memory lane with me. Like I said, maybe this was just my experience with 80s Christmas and you grew up somewhere completely different or in a different experience. I don't know. But this was my nostalgia trip back to the 80s Christmas, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Please don't forget to smash all those YouTube buttons for me and leave me a comment below and let me know what is the best Christmas gift you remember getting as a child. For me, my favorite gift that I ever got was the She-Ra costume playset, and it had the mask with the wings, and it had her sword, and I think it had her belt. I wore that thing all the time. I was the kid who wanted to go to school in my costume. I couldn't because I went to a school where I had to wear a uniform. But it was a fight several mornings that I could not be She-Ra at school. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today, and I will see you next time. Bye.